red wine for different sorts of meals or different moods or different times of year. But you can go on the desert island and take a bottle of one variety of red wine. What type of red wine are you taking to the island?
I'm taking the Cabernet grape. I'm taking the Cabernet Sauvignon, and I'm probably taking like a French Chateau Telegraph or something like that.
Very specific and very good.
Do you think that might be I have too big of a relationship with it?
I really enjoyed our in-depth out there.
Greg, what do you think?
I love a good cab, but we also like the Grenache. We love the Grenache family because it's
Oh,
so
listen to you.
great with different
Hit the bell.
foods.
Hit
And
the bell.
okay, good enough. I go
with
with food, and we're food people too.
I like that too. That's easy to drink. I'm going with probably a Chianti Classico, like maybe from the hills outside of Florence. I don't know, maybe a
That's
2018, 2019.
That's very specific as well.
We all are very specific. Isn't that nice?
I love that.
So there you go.
We can make it on the island together.
We're going to be good. I'm going to bring a case, by the way.
That sounds awesome. Only one?
I'm going to give it to the weekend.
Right.
So happy National Drink Wine Day.
I like this one a lot.
314.
I'm also glad it's not National UB40 Day, by the way. That's quite important.
I love
wine.
wine too. Sports is up next.
This report is sponsored by the Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
You receive a diagnosis from a doctor. You do some reading about it. Talk with your loved ones about it. You feel good about proceeding. Well, pretty good, that is. There's that one thing nagging at you. Probably nothing, right? Or is it? A good reason to get a second opinion. The Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network not only offers but encourages second opinions on cancer, cardiovascular, orthopedic, spine, or neurological next steps. Second opinions often happen virtually and give you peace of mind about all that is humanly possible at an academic health network like ours, including innovative treatment options and clinical trials. Big decisions deserve a second opinion. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're here to help you feel good about your decisions. Learn more or request an appointment at frederick.com/second opinion.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Richlawn with 2
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzek.
Oh, the Packers have a new quarterbacks coach. It's 68-year-old Tom Clements coming out of retirement to replace Luke Getzey. Clements was Packers quarterbacks coach and assistant coach from 2006 to 2016 under Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers credits Clements, quarterback school, for developing him into a league MVP. For those who want Rodgers back, consider this a step in the right direction.
I would guess that this is one of those requests that he made in order to come back. And if he's going to do it, then that's going to improve significantly / solidify him coming back.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde, who will join us live today at 5:21. Football of the college variety, the college football playoff will remain a 14 field through the completion of the current 12-year agreement. It will expire after the 2025 season. At the 22-game sprint to the finish for the Bucs to enjoy the next 8 days off of the All-Star break. Milwaukee empties the break 34-26. All things considered,
I'm definitely, okay with where we're at. I feel like we haven't played our best basketball, but we feel like we can go a lot further, be a lot better.
Bucs guard forward Chris Middleton, he's on his way with Giannis and Thanasis to Cleveland for All-Star festivities. And today, John, we saw it coming. Today it's official. Major League Baseball announces the delay of starting spring training. All spring training games canceled until at least March 5th. Additional games will be canceled if there's no new CBA. So we got the formality here, but no Bob Uecker tomorrow as was initially planned.
Yeah, that is really too bad. All right, thank you very much, Greg. By the way, we're live streaming the show. If you want to see the show, you can do that. Live stream is on the WTMJ Twitter page or on the WTMJ Facebook page. And you can join the conversation there. We are here. Kind of fun to look in on the show. It's 317 to 3 at 3 up there.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Gene Miller. I take seriously my responsibility to update you on what's happening around the world every morning, the most important part of the day.
Hey, Gene, hate to interrupt your monologue, but I think afternoons are pretty important. I mean, we catch you up on the latest breaking stories. I mean, come on.
So I guess we're not worried about the rest of the day, huh?
Yeah, what are we, chopped liver?
John, you all have an important role here.
WTMJ is here for you, live and local all day.
What about nice?
We're with Wisconsin's radio station.
Hey, it's been forever. You look down. Is everything all right?
No, we found out my dad's farmland was sold by the county to pay old property taxes he was unable to pay.
That's terrible.
It gets worse. They kept all the profits on the foreclosure even after the back taxes were paid.
That sounds like equity theft. We should contact our legislators so they can put a stop to this.
Foreclosure equity theft is real. When landowners are unable to pay property taxes, counties are authorized to pay off back taxes by selling the buildings and land. While taxes must be paid, keeping excess profits is wrong. Wisconsin allows counties to keep this unearned windfall. That must change. They're making financial hardship worse, stealing hard-earned equity and hurting Wisconsin families. Call the legislature at 800-362-9472. Ask them to stop foreclosure equity theft. Paid for by the Wisconsin Homeowners Alliance.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. I started my first business in the basement of a factory over 30 years ago. We had no heat and no air conditioning. Instead of customers, our office visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes. Our office flooded often, and we used blankets as our office walls. We were broke and needed help. That's why I created Patriot Software, to help small business owners with simple payroll for 1 to 100 employees. And if you need help, we will help you for free. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
How would you describe a true queen?
Royal.
Regal.
80 inches.
Your Highness.
Your Eminence. 80 inches. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about a true queen-size mattress on a sofa sleeper.
That's impossible.
Ah, contraire. Because a true 80-inch queen mattress is exactly what you get in the Klein Sleeper sofa from Penny Mustard.
And you can choose from super high-end mattress options, including Tempur-Pedic.
That's not the only thing that sets Klein apart from the other sofa sleepers.
The mattress is supported by a solid platform, not the traditional trampoline-type net.
No painful bars in the middle of your back.
And it's my favorite, true queen, not like those fake queens.
What fake queens?
You know, drama and dairy.
The Klein Sleeper Sofa, starting at just $173 a month and no interest through February 2024. Now through February 27th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Traffic and weather, let's get out to Debbie Loziga. How we doing out there, Deb?
Well, we got a few areas of heavy traffic right now. Westbound 94 from downtown to the Zoo Interchange. Going to be about a 9-minute ride right through that stadium interchange from about 20th Street through. So be careful with that. 41 southbound Highway Q to the Zoo is still going to be 18 minutes. We're on and off the brakes south of Capitol Drive, or actually from about Hampton to about Burleigh, and then back on the brakes right around North Avenue. Northbound side's a little tight, too, from Blue Mound Road up past Watertown Plank. Other than that, we're looking great across the rest of the system. And you can be our eyes on the roads, too. If you can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. It's 414-203-8100. I'm Debbie Loziga, WTMJ, PellaWI.com, time saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a wind advisory continues until 4 a.m. 50 miles an hour these winds could hit tonight. Man, it's going to be gusty big time. Tomorrow, evening snow, then a little bit windy, cold, a high of 20 degrees. On Sunday, windy and mild, a high of 45. On Monday, wintry mix late in the day, a high of 36. And on Tuesday, a wintry mix, gusty winds once again, a high of 30 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 29. In Milwaukee, it's 31 degrees.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, 3 stories we've kind of picked out to get you up to speed on. The first is breaking news that came down this afternoon. Potawatomi has signed a compact amendment allowing event wagering. So Governor Tony Evers with the Potawatomi today signing a new amendment that will now go on for federal approval. But what this means is that here in Milwaukee and at other Potawatomi locations, they will be allowed to open up what's called a sports book. You will eventually be able to go down there and bet on the Packers, the Brewers, other big events that are going on. This has never been allowed in Milwaukee, but it will now.
This is big news for the Potawatomi. I mean, like so many other people, but especially their business suffered during the pandemic. So this, I hope, will help them.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
Hey, these are some big-time numbers from states in our union. I mean, Illinois, just revenue from sports gambling, $653 million last year.
That's real money.
That is real money. That is insane. And that's it's hundreds of millions everywhere it is.
So there is a review process. 2 other casinos in Wisconsin have had their compacts amended, and they went through this review process. Both times they were approved in Washington, D.C., so the expectation is that sometime before the end of the year, maybe in the summer, betting will come to Potawatomi. So coming up this afternoon, actually at 4:50, Ryan Amundsen from Potawatomi will be with us live, and we'll ask him all these questions, and he'll kind of lead us through it. So that is the first of the 3 at 3. Next up, this is a tough story. Kim Potter is the Milwaukee police officer who, right during the middle of the George Floyd trial, Minneapolis, right during the middle of George Floyd's trial, Potter pulled over a guy named Dante Wright. He was driving with expired tags. He got out of the car and tried to run. She thought she was pulling her taser. She actually pulled her handgun, and she shot him. This is what that day sounded like.
I shot him! Oh my God! Jim, sit down. Oh my God! Oh my God!
A clearly distraught Kim Potter thought she was using her taser and shot and killed Dante Wright. And today she was sentenced. Because of that, she was sentenced to 2 years in prison with time off for good behavior. She could serve 16 months.
Prosecutor had asked for 7 years, and so this was a huge disappointment to the family.
Yeah.
He also, if you remember, he also had something dangling from his...
An air freshener.
Yeah, air freshener. Thank you.
Yep, which is illegal there.
Yeah, illegal to have anything hanging from your mirror in Minnesota. But it just really made me sad to hear that.
Yeah. All right, let's end on a high note, because this is fun stuff. So the Milwaukee Admirals are going to do what a lot of minor league baseball teams do. They're going to change their actual name for a couple of days. On March 11th and 12th, the Admirals will stop being the Admirals and become the Milwaukee Fish Fry. They've got a brand new logo. They've got all sorts of stuff.
I love it. And the jerseys are going to look like the tables, like the linens for the fish fry.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue and white.
Exactly. It's going to have the Milwaukee Fish Fry crest, which I never knew existed, but apparently there's a logo. Yeah, it's a walleye being lured by a thing of French fries. Of course. On a red and white plaid pattern that you just mentioned, Amy.
Only in Wisconsin.
Oh, it's so good.
How fun is this? So,
I think
of course,
it's
they'll serve fish fry at the arena on those nights.
You want to have some fun with promotions, right? I mean, just to sit at the table and noodle ideas with the Admirals would be an absolute blast.
It would be. There's going to be deals for tickets that include fish fries at local restaurants. It's going to be a big deal. So it's March 11th and 12th. So get that on your calendar. The Admirals become the Milwaukee Fish Fry. I think that just
really
makes me smile, doesn't it?
It makes me smile.
It is 3:27 at WTMJ. Tom Newman with the WTMJ Drake & Associates Market Update on your Friday.
U.S. stocks fell today and had a second consecutive losing week as the Russian-Ukraine conflict loomed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 232 points, while the S&P 500 index declined 0.72% and the Nasdaq Composite fell 1.23. President Joe Biden is expected to move more U.S. troops closer to Ukraine, while the Ukrainian government and Russian state-controlled media exchange fresh accusations of ceasefire violations at the border. Today was particularly volatile, with trillions of dollars in options and futures set to expire. Options expiration days, which generally occur on the third Friday of each month, can cause the market to swing in a wide range as these positions are closed out. Intel was the biggest lagger on the Dow, down 5.3%, with Bank of America reiterating an underperform rating on the stock. For Drake & Associates, I'm Tom Newman, Financial Advisor, News Radio WTMJ.
George
George, come here. Oh, you have to try this.
Oh, yes, this is nice. Say, how do you pronounce these things? Is it Chase or Cheese?
Oh, either way, I could spend 7 years on one of these, binging all of my shows.
It's Steinhaffel's President's Day sale. The entire store is 35 to 55% off, and you get an extra $100 off when you spend $19.99 or more.
And you have to try this mattress. It's heaven.
It's Steinhaffel's President's Day sale. Relax. It's Steinhaffel's.
Well, last year, my friends at Siding Unlimited won a Best in the USA award. Let me tell you about it. Pella Windows named Siding Unlimited their Platinum Elite National Certified Contractor of the Year. Siding Unlimited, right here in Wisconsin, best in the United States. Part of the reason why is Siding Unlimited has their own full-time professional carpenters. These are experienced craftsmen. They take pride in their work. I've seen it firsthand. And Pella perceived how well Siding Unlimited treated their customers and how Siding Unlimited presented an honest pricing model. And it all created this wonderful partnership between Pella, Siding Unlimited, and all of the gratified customers. You can only get the best by calling the best, that is Siding Unlimited. Make sure to reach out to them first. Don't settle for anything less than the best installed by the best. Again, it's Siding Unlimited. Find them online at sidingunlimited.com.
Flames Farm and Fleet's Spring Workwear event is going on now. We outfit the hardest working people in America with name brand work boots and apparel, all at prices that help your hard-earned dollars go further. Right now, get $20 in Carhartt bucks for every $100 you spend on Carhartt gear, in-store only. Shop our selection of men's Dickies, Flex, Cargo, or Carpenter pants. And men's work and sport heavyweight pocket tees are just $9.99.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Sports gambling comes to Milwaukee.
I'm Amy Taylor in for Melissa Barclay. Hold on to your hat.
I'm Greg Matzig. Some R&R for the Bucks.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, getting a bit heavier now. Southbound 43 is going to be up to an 18-minute ride between Brown Deer Road and downtown. That's a 6-minute backup. Eastbound 94 between the zoo and downtown, we're up to about 10. The westbound side's at 10 as well. Between those two spots, 3 extra minutes. 41 southbound Highway Q to the zoo will be about 17. I'm Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ, PellaWI.com. Time saver traffic.
A wind advisory in effect until 4 a.m. Wind gusts could hit 50 miles per hour out of the northwest. Going to be chilly. Little bit of wind tomorrow. Wind chills in effect. A high of only 20 degrees. Wind chills down to 10 below. Sunday, windy mild. We climb back to 45 degrees. Monday, a wintry mix, a high of 36. Tuesday, wintry mix, a high of 30. In Milwaukee, it's 31 degrees.
A Russian invasion into Ukraine would also impact Europe and the U.S. The U.S. says Russia is behind the recent cyber attacks in Ukraine and could strike U.S. government and private sector sites. Ann Newberger, Deputy National Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology on efforts to protect those sites.
We are confident that we have worked closely with the private sector to press critical infrastructure owners and operators in the private sector to take the necessary steps to deploy cyber defenses.
President Biden expected to update Americans on the situation in Ukraine this next hour. In Minneapolis, Daunte Wright's family say they are devastated over the reduced sentence for Kim Potter, the former police officer who shot and killed Wright during a traffic stop, confusing her gun with a taser. A judge sentenced her to 16 months prison time and 8 months probation. The National Archives says it's notified the Justice Department that the records it retrieved at former President Trump's Florida estate contained classified information. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:31.
Batten down the hatches. It is windy. A wind advisory runs through the overnight. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Kristen Kershane.
Our winds will be impressive as we finish out the day, and even as we move into tonight, wind gusts over 50 miles an hour possible.
The complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up.
This winter has been an easy one when it comes to heavy snow in parts of Wisconsin, but that could have lingering effects when it comes to drought conditions.
We did finish 2021 probably behind by about 12 inches of total rain.
The Midwest Farm Report's Pam Yankee tells Wisconsin's Morning News weather conditions around the country directly impact the price of food.
Everything from chicken to beef, it's going to continue to go up. And if weather becomes a problem, not just here, but potentially elsewhere, where some of our other crops are growing, California, Arizona, Florida, I just don't see prices going down.
Yankee says Wisconsin typically sees the most rain in April, May, and June. Jay Metz
WTMJ News.
Sports gambling could soon be happening in Milwaukee. WTMJ's Alex Crow has the latest in the breaking news.
Yeah, John, the Evers administration announcing today that it has reached an agreement with the Forest County Potawatomi to allow betting on sports and non-sports events. The plan is still subject to approval by the U.S. Department of Interior. The state says Potawatomi plans to open a sportsbook venue at its hotel and casino in Milwaukee by the end of this year. Sports betting deals have already been reached with 2 other tribes, and a sportsbook is already operational at the Oneida Casino in Green Bay.
A proposal for a meat processing plant in Franklin appears to be dead. Strauss Meats had planned a $70 million plant near 112th and Ryan Road, but due to community outrage, the company will no longer pursue the project. The company will now try to sell the land.
If you catch the NBA All-Star Game on Sunday night, you might hear a voice that you recognize in the arena.
Bucks in-game hostess Melanie Ricks emceeing the NBA All-Star Game this weekend.
It's not just me from our entertainment. DJ Sauna is also going to be doing Sunday night. We're represented, and obviously, the Antetokounmpos and, of course, Chris Middleton. So Milwaukee is in the building this weekend for sure.
She's looking forward to brushing shoulders with some celebs in Cleveland.
Oh, we're going to Shaq's party. So I'm looking forward to that, Brian, I have to say.
Whoa, you buried the lead, yeah.
The All-Star Game tips off Sunday night at 7. Brian D., WTMJ Sports.
Sounds good to me. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
Let's get you out to the Olympics. Alex Prochet is with us from Beijing. Alex, it's hard to believe our talks with you are almost done. This is kind of flown for us. How's it been for you?
Listen, it's flown for me too. It's hard to believe that it's been 2 weeks and change at this point in Beijing. But as you mentioned, closing ceremonies right on the horizon here.
Alex, this is Amy. I was talking to friends who were saying they never really got into the flow of the Olympics. Did you ever feel that great, exciting feeling that you normally would feel?
Well, in talking back with friends back stateside, I've heard that sentiment too. But it's hard not to get into the flow of the Olympics whenever you're actually, I guess, in the host city, right? Because and also, I'm in the closed loop, right? So there's nothing to do except Olympics-related activities, and so I caught the fever, but I've heard that sentiment before.
To Amy's point, I guess I love the Olympics. I really love the Olympics. And it was disappointing that the biggest story of the Games was about cheating. It was about the Russian skater who cheated and was allowed to continue skating. And it's just unfortunate that kind of became the face of this Olympics, it seems, Alex.
It is unfortunate. And look, I don't think it's just going to be this Olympics. This is something that's still going to be tried, and decided in the weeks and probably months after these Olympics. You're looking at least one event, that team skate and the figure skating, which has still yet to be fully decided because the investigation into 15-year-old Kamila Valieva and that positive test that she had for trimethazidine, that heart medication that's a banned substance, has still yet to be completed, and it has overshadowed much of the good and just much of the coverage of these Olympics, and certainly whenever you look at how her last performance was in that women's skate, her imploding on the ice, and the subsequent response by her coach, and the drama with some of her teammates, not being happy with their own particular placements. It speaks to a culture that's being examined and certainly questioned. The adults specifically that are around Valieva.
Yeah, we're hearing that they're talking about maybe changing the age of competition and raising it from 15 to 17. Are you getting a sense that people are getting bitter against the ROC as well? There's got to be a lot of real negative feelings associated with this skating competition.
Well, Amy, I think that a lot of people are tired of Russia doing these Russia-type things, right? Here is a country that's not even allowed to march under its own flag and name because of a doping scandal. And, fast forward from the 2014 Sochi Games, where that scandal kind of emanated from, and And here we are in Beijing, and they have another instance where a prominent athlete of theirs is accused, and not just accused, but also like literally positive for a banned substance, and helped Russia win a gold medal. And it was something that wasn't reported until after the fact. So I mean, I think there's a huge frustration with that. There's a lot of people that are sympathetic to Kamila Valieva being a 15-year-old. I don't think that many people blame her specifically for this situation. They blame the people that are around her, but regardless, they say that rules are rules, and what's the point of having rules in place if you're not going to protect the integrity of the sport?
Hey, Alex, really quickly, what's the coolest thing you saw?
Ooh, you know what? Though, probably one of the things that sticks out most is all the robots that are here.